Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new video. Now, yesterday we had a really big Scarlet and Violet trailer revealed, so I thought we would just go over everything together and see what cool new things we will be looking forward to in this brand new game. I've got the trailer right here, and I have the official site, and we're just going to go through everything piece by piece. So let's get right into it and start this trailer. I've turned the sound down because we don't really need to hear everything that's going on, plus I don't want to get copyright or anything. But this trailer starts out with a few different shots talking to Nimona and mainly focusing on the treasure hunt. That's particularly what this trailer talks about. There are a few new Pokemon that we just saw, but we're going to get into those later. First things first, we're going to look into one area of the treasure hunt and one of the brand new stories, and this one is going to be Starfall Street. And this is going to be a story where we face off against the antagonistic squad, which is going to be Team Star. And essentially what they are is a group of school troublemakers, as it says right here. They're a bunch of essentially juvenile delinquents, a bunch of students of the academy, whichever academy is in your game based on the version, and they just want to cause trouble for the school for some reason. We don't really know what the reason is. They have this big Starmobile that the bosses battle on, and this one is Mila, and she is the leader of their fire squad. So she's going to be up there, and she's going to battle you, and you're going to be down on the ground. There's little Fuecoco about to battle. Look at him, he's so tough. And he's going to engage in this battle. So that's what we see from the trailer. Before we go any further, let's look at what we see on the official site, because as usual, the official site gives us a bit more information. So face off against the school troublemakers in Starfall Street. So in the story, it's pretty straightforward. It mentions how Team Star was formed by the most rebellious students of the school, and they have several squads, as they saw, as we said. And each squad has its own boss. And again, it seems that they're based on types. And essentially, they're just delinquents causing trouble and trying to get people to join Team Star, I guess other students. And so yes, this is our new antagonistic group, Team Star. And quite personally, I really like them. I think their designs are really interesting. I like the fact that because they're based off of the students, there's not just one generic design for them and they're all just clones. They have different skin tones, different hair colors. I really like their long hair, the glasses, the motorcycle helmets they have, because we can see that they ride on Cyclozar. And yeah, overall, I just think these guys look really nice. I think they look really funny. They kind of remind me of Team Skull, so I'm hoping they'll be really funny. Team Skull was really nice because they were so memorable. They just had a lot of funny quotes they said. I really kind of just actually look forward to seeing them just because I always anticipated laughing at them. But yes, so basically they just look like students. They're going to be wearing the uniforms with a few differences. They've got the star on the necktie. She's got her sleeves rolled up. They got the helmets, like I said. But overall, that's the designs. So the way this story is handled is that Team Star has different bases across the Paldea region, and what you need to do is essentially infiltrate the bases, and then once you're in there, the grunts will send out a barrage of Pokemon at you, and you need to defeat them. And that's going to be done with a new mechanic called Auto Battles, which I'm going to go more into that later. But essentially what happens is that you send out your Pokemon to do battle, but you don't need to be standing there giving them commands. They just will battle automatically, is what it seems. And that's really interesting. There's more detail about it over here, where essentially you have a new feature called Let's Go, where you can send your Pokemon out, kind of like walking Pokemon where they can wander around, but also you can use this specific Let's Go feature, and that will send just Pokemon off in any direction you tell them to go. And if they engage in nearby battles with wild Pokemon, then they will just battle by themselves. If they come across a wild Pokemon, they will just start to battle them, and you don't need to give any input, you don't need to command them, they will just battle. And I'm really curious how this is going to work. Like, how are the Pokemon supposed to behave? Will they just use moves randomly? Will they go for stab moves? Will they go for super effective moves? Furthermore, how is this going to affect shinies? Like, are my Pokemon just going to start attacking shinies without me knowing? I really hope there's an indication of what you're battling before the battle starts. But regardless, that's what auto battles are, and we will be using them in this story. And after defeating all of the Grunts Pokemon with your own, you're going to have to take on the boss on the Starmobile, just like we saw in the trailer, which I think looks pretty funny, you know, having the boss way up here while you're way down here. Your Pokemon is so small, and here's this giant Starmobile, it just seems really interesting. So I'm looking forward to this part of the story. Like I said, I think Starfall Street will be the one that I am most interested in, because I really just want to know this lore, man. I really want to know, what did Clavel do to these students that made them so angry that they formed this whole little group of delinquents, and they got this giant car. I don't know where this came from, but yeah, I just think this is going to be kind of interesting, so I'm looking forward to this. And last they show us Mila, the boss of the Sheeter Squad, which is their fire crew. I guess they will all have different names. And so they just describe Mila and give some of her personality. And they mention that, of course, her outfit will differ based on the version. Here in Scarlet, she has the little Scarlet emblem, and she has the Scarlet colored belt and this thing around her neck. And over here for Violet, it's going to be Violet colored, and she's going to have the little emblem for the Uva School. And we see she uses a Torkoal, and we see she also uses a Quick Ball in the game, though of course her artwork has her with a regular Pokeball. But that's pretty much it for the first story, or well, I guess it's not the first. You can do the stories in any order you want, so if you're interested in finding out more about Team Star, make sure you head over to Any Task with Starfall Street. But now, continuing on with the trailer, they next go into another one of the 3 stories, and this one is called The Path of Legends. And The Path of Legends you'll be doing with Arvin, who is one of the characters we were introduced to earlier. And essentially what you're doing here is looking for these herbs called Herba Mysterial. And in order to do that, you need to go to these different locations, and you're going to be battling giant Pokemon called Titans. And here's an example of a Titan, and it shows off one of the new Pokemon Cloth, the Stony Cliff Titan. I guess that's this location you're in. And as we can see, it's kind of like the totem Pokemon from Sun and Moon, where the Pokemon are just gigantic and you need to battle them with your Pokemon. And again, because Arvin's character is that he doesn't like to battle much, look at him here. He's so scared of the giant Cloth. As a Sprigatito, she looks pretty scared, or he, I don't know what gender the Sprigatito is, but they look really scared as well. But the main trainer, she seems fine. She's not scared at all. But anyway, so search for Herba Mysterica on the Path of Legends. So it talks about how Arvin researches healthy recipes for Pokemon, and how he's looking for rare ingredients called Herba Mystica, which are said to immediately restore health once eaten. And I'm guessing this is going to be an actual item. I don't know if it's just, I don't think it's just, some flavor text. I feel like this will be an actual item in the game, but who knows. Either way, in order to find these herbs, you need to find them, and they're going to be guarded by Titan Pokemon, which are bigger and stronger than ordinary Pokemon, making the herbs even more difficult to obtain. So essentially, yes, they're like totems. They're really giant Pokemon. They don't seem to have allies, they call on. It seems they're just one big Pokemon, which they already look way more massive than totems ever were, so they don't really need any allies, let's be real. Look at Sprigatito down here and this giant Cloth. And it seems Arvin is just going to be here for moral support. It doesn't look like he sends out a Pokemon. I only see one here, Sprigatito. It doesn't look like there's space for a second. So it seems Arvin is just going to give us some moral support, and if we get the Herba Mysterica, he'll just give us some dishes. He's just going to cook for us. So I like this story too. It seems interesting, especially since we're going to do something with Arvin, another one of the major characters. And the only thing I'm kind of confused about is when we did our little speculation video in our Paldea tour video, we were thinking that, well, I was thinking that maybe those towers we saw had something to do with one of the stories. And it doesn't seem so at first glance, but I think it will, because if we look in this trailer, we do see some of those towers. As the main character is running around and you see all these cloth, you see there is one of these towers here in this location. So I'm wondering if maybe these towers are associated with the Herba Mysterica and maybe the Titans. Maybe these are the locations where you're going to always find the Titans. Maybe the herbs are in the towers, or maybe the Titans are the guardians of them and you need to go in there to get the herbs. I'm not too sure yet, but I do think there will be some relation to them, because they did keep showing us these towers in multiple videos. They didn't focus on them here, but I'm guessing they just don't want to reveal too much, but I personally think they're related. So if we just go back to where we originally were, now we have to go over the final story, which is the one we actually heard about first, which is Victory Road, which is basically the gym challenge. So here we see one of the gyms, and here we meet the chairwoman of the Pokemon League, Geeta. I'm glad we have a chairwoman of the league. It just makes the league feel much more important. And here's Nimona, our buddy who likes to battle. So of course she's going to be here showing us the ropes once we go to the gyms. I imagine she might run into us every so often once we get to a gym. And here we see the gym tests, where just like past games, we've had different little missions and puzzles for the gyms, and also especially Sword and Shield. They gave us these special tasks before we had to take part in the gym battles, like catching Pokemon in Kabu's gym, or hurling the Wooloo in Milo's gym. So that seems to be something similar here. And now we see one of the gym leaders, Brassius. He's the grass type gym leader, and we see here that he's going to be terrestrializing his Sudowoodo into a grass type. So that's going to be really interesting. It allows the gym leaders, to me, to have more varied teams, since they can just terrestrialize a Pokemon that isn't one of their main types into what their actual type specialty is. So if we go up here, we see Victory Road, your path to the champion rank. So here's Grusha, the other gym leader we already previously seen, and he's the Titan. And And we see this boisterous little Fuecoco ready to get into battle. And Mona here giving us some advice, and of course the trainer is telling Fuecoco to get into that battle. So as we know, there are 8 gyms all across Paldea, and they're managed by the Pokemon League. And we have to pass the gym test, as they mentioned here. Again, kind of like Sword and Shield or previous gym puzzles where we have to do these tasks before we can battle the gym. And here in this task, all we need to do is find some Sunflora. It looks like a specific number of Sunflora. And then we'll be able to challenge the gym leader, Brachius. Here's the official artwork of Gita and some screenshots from the game. Again, it says she is one of the most powerful trainers. As we heard previously, there are multiple champions in Paldea. There's a specific trainer class called champion. There isn't just one. So it seems that Gita is one of the champions, and it says she seems to be the strongest one. So I'm wondering if we're going to have to battle her at some point. Maybe she'll be the final challenge in order for us to get the champion rank. We'll have to see. And here they introduce us to Brachius, the gym leader of the Arzitan Gym, which is that location we just saw. It seems to be that location on the very first town if you go to the east exit from Mesagoza. That city with the giant Sunflora statue, which it mentions here actually, his surrendering Sunflora. It seems that he's an artist. They call him the Verdant Virtuoso, so that seems to be his thing. And again, we see that he does terrestrialize a Sudowoodo into a grass type. And I hope they do this with some gyms, but I also hope that they will have gyms where they have their main preferred type, but they change it to a different type. Because the way I see it here is changing a type that isn't your specialty to that type, it kind of doesn't have as much difficulty. I feel like if I'm going to a grass gym, I'm expecting grass types anyway, so I'm prepared with my fire, my flying types, my ice types. So bringing out a rock type and turning it into a grass type, it feels like it kind of just lessens the effect because I'm already prepared for a grass type. I guess the only thing that really helps is maybe Sudowoodo is stronger than other grass types in the area. I don't know. I personally hope we'll see some other gym leaders and their most powerful Pokemon will be their main type, but they change it to a different type, to maybe something that resists something that they normally be weak against. Like if, say, Grusha uses terrestrialization on his Cetitan and it becomes, say, a water type to be able to handle fire types. Just an idea. So those are the 3 stories, and the rest of the trailer pretty much just gives some other screenshots of going around Paldea. It looks really beautiful. I'm really excited for this game, guys. They give a lot of shots there of different things from the game. I think it's going to be so interesting. I'm still interested in the whole open world aspect. We're going to be able to do lots of different things and be able to take on the stories any way we want. And here are 2 of the new Pokemon that we saw. We're going to go into more detail with them later. This one is called Armarouge, and this one is called Cerulege. And they're both fire types, but they each have a different secondary type. And here are just some more screenshots of the different characters and showing off terrestrialization. I also think that's going to be pretty fun. I really like terrestrial phenomenon. It looks really cool and cute. I really like the different tarot jewels that are the crowns on their head. I think it looks really pretty. So that's the end of the trailer. And just to go over a few final things, we already went over the auto battles. But here, let's talk about the new Pokemon, Cloth. This is going to be one of the Titans we see, and of course just a regular Pokemon. It is a brand new ability called Anger Shell, which they go into detail about. But here they just go into describing it. They just show how it has these protruding eyeballs and very strong claws. And the new ability, Anger Shell, which essentially is kind of like the move Shell Smash, where once Cloth's HP gets to half or less, it will get angry, and it lowers its defense and special defense, but raises attack, special attack, and speed. That part is essentially like Shell Smash, where you lower your defensive stats and boost your attack stats and your speed. So that's going to be pretty interesting. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of Cloth. It's really just not my style. I really like, I love my cute Pokemon, and Cloth, it's just not too cute, but it's not the worst thing ever. But I don't imagine myself using it. Next we have Armarouge, which is exclusive to Pokemon Scarlet. So when I first saw Armarouge and also Cerulege, I really wasn't too sure about them. Cerulege, of course, is the counterpart, and it is exclusive to Violet. I really wasn't too sure about them because, y'all listen, I was at work when all this was dropping. I couldn't see anything on my phone. My screen was so tiny and nothing was loading. The internet was just terrible, so I could barely see these two, and I was just kind of just confused on what they were. I couldn't really see their eyes. That was my big thing. I thought these holes here on their helmets were their eyes, and I was like, I just thought they looked so weird. Once I finally was able to watch the trailer and look at the actual website and see them up close and see their eyes, I was like, okay, they don't look as bad as I thought. I was thinking they just look so weird. I actually was liking Cerulege a bit more in the very little footage I could see, but actually I think I like Armarouge a bit more now. I think the thick armor plates in the arms are a bit much for my taste, but I don't don't dislike them really. I think they look pretty cool actually. They're okay. I don't know if I could see myself using them on a team, but I don't know. They look like something I might carry around for a bit. I'm not sure about what my team is actually going to be this time around, especially with the whole open world and multiple stories. I feel like it'll be really interesting this time around. But to give you some details about Armor Rouge, it is a fire and psychic type, which we don't really see too many of. We have Delphox and Victini, but I think that's about it. And so it's basically, it and Cerulege are kind of like opposites. Armor Rouge is more of a fair fighter. It really likes honorable battles and it wants to challenge its opponents head on. It doesn't like really sneaky tactics and things like that. And it mentions how its armor is a source of its psychic powers, and it has a brand new move called Armor Cannon, where essentially it shoots a very strong blast of fire, but it does end up lowering its defense and special defense, so it's kind of like close combat, only it's a special fire type move. Whereas Cerulege is more of a physical attacker, it seems. It's a fire ghost type, and it's kind of like the opposite of Armor Rouge, because this thing will do anything to win. It likes close combat attacks, and it isn't above using sneak attacks, so it's kind of the opposite of Armor Rouge, who battles honorably, and this one has just the swords that absorb life energy, kind of like typical of ghost types. So yeah, Cerulege is cool. And it has a brand new move also called Bitter Blade, which is a physical fire type move, and essentially it's like Leech Life, where it does damage and then it allows the Pokemon to recover some health. So that's essentially all the information that we got. The new Pokemon again. Between all three of them, I think I like Armor Rouge the most, then Cerulege, and then Cloth last. I'm really just not a big fan of Cloth. But these guys I like a bit more. I didn't like them at first, but after taking some time to really look at them, let them marinate in my spirit, I think they look really nice. I think I can appreciate them more now. But that is essentially all the information that we got today. I hope you really enjoyed this little recap. And again, I hope you guys are as excited for Scarlet and Violet as I am. I think these will be really great games. I'm really excited for the 3 stories, especially, and the open world nature of all 3 of them. And if you guys enjoyed this video, I hope you guys will leave some comments in the comment section. What are you most excited for? Which story do you think you're the most interested in? Which do you want to see more of? Which do you plan on taking on first? Do you plan on going in a specific order? Are you going to do one story and finish it and then move on to another one? Or do you want to go back and forth? I think me personally, the way I just play the games, I think I'll most likely just do different story beats as I come across them. Like if I come across one of Team Star's bases, I'll probably just go in there and battle their bosses and the grunts. And then whatever's next in my path, I'll do that. I don't really plan on doing one story and do all those elements and then just go back around the region 2 more times to do the other stories. But that's just me. You guys can let me know in the comments what you want to do. But that's pretty much going to be the end for this video. I hope you really enjoyed it. And I will see you guys in the next one, whenever we get some more Scarlet and Violet information, other videos I have on the side, anything you want to see. If you really enjoyed this video, I hope you guys will hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you liked, hit that dislike button if you disliked, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much.